free speech, and educational freedom. So let's get started. When public employees face retaliation for exercising their constitutional rights or encountering union corruption, where can they turn for help? Far too often, they're caught between powerful union organizations on one hand and limited resources to pay legal bills on the other. But that's where organizations like the Fairness Center step in to try to level the playing field. Our guest today is Nathan McGrath, President and General Counsel of the Fairness Center, which is a nonprofit law firm providing free legal services to public sector employees hurt or damaged by union officials. Since the landmark 2018 Supreme Court decision, Janus v. AFSCME, which ruled that public employees cannot be forced to pay union dues, Nathan and his team have been on the front lines helping workers understand and exercise their constitutional rights, from challenging illegal contract provisions to actually exposing embezzled union dues. The Fairness Center's work touches on fundamental questions about individual liberty, constitutional rights, and the proper role of public sector unions in American democracy. Nathan, welcome to Voices of Freedom. It's great to have you.
Thank you so much, Rick. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Let's jump in and start out by just talking about your background. You were in private practice and you decided to leave that to focus specifically on constitutional and labor law, particularly helping public sector employees. Why'd you make that switch?
Yeah, I think my story on that starts a few years even before private practice. I worked on the Hill for a congressman for a number of years.
Did you?
And yeah, I did. And it was a really neat experience. Part of my portfolio for him was actually labor policy. So I got to see it from that end of things. And I remember thinking multiple times during my couple years there, just that, you know, we can pass great laws, we can help implement great policy, but the rubber is going to really meet the road when it gets out into the real world and judges start to make rulings and lawyers do their work. And I always thought, boy, maybe to be an attorney, maybe that's you know, the tip of the spear on this. And so I spent a couple years on the Hill and then went to law school, went up into private practice. And as the new associate, you know how that goes. You kind of just get thrown into anything and everything. So I got to see a lot of areas of law I really enjoyed and some that I didn't so much. And but I think the thing for me after a couple years, I just wanted to do something that was more mission oriented, kind of like the bigger impact, the bigger picture, and having a mission to drive me at the core. And so that's really where my search began, I guess, for public interest law. And I guess depending on how you look at it, providentially or accidentally fell into it. And that's what led me to now many years doing this type of work and eventually to the Fairness Center.
Were you working with big law firm, little law firm?
I was in a smaller law firm. I think we had two partners. So we handled pretty much every type of law that came through. The general practitioner was in full effect there. So, you know, you'd go from a criminal hearing in the morning to personal injury and then doing someone's will and trust in the evening.
I remember those days as a former lawyer myself.
I figured you would.
Let's talk now about the Fairness Center itself and its mission. Talk about what it means to provide legal services to those, and I quote, hurt by public sector union officials. And what common situations do you see that cause clients to knock on your door?
Yeah, I think for me, the Fairness Center really drew me in with our very narrow and focused mission because we knew what we were about and we've stayed true to that. And I really love the strategy and how we implement it. So we say we're a national law firm with a state focus. And what that means is that we go to states that we think are strategic decisions and choices to go. We don't take cases from everywhere. We've picked specific states where we want to operate and run our program. And instead of just doing maybe a case in Pennsylvania and then one in Texas, one in, you know, Maryland or whatever, we say, okay, we're opening up shop in Pennsylvania, and then we're going to file case after case after case there. And what we've found over, you know, we've been in existence now over 10 years, all of the states where we've been able to kind of, how I call it, run the program for a sustained period of time, we've been able to make very objective and substantial changes to the labor landscape. And that's really what our clients want. We often get clients who come to us and say, I've been injured in this way, but I also never want this to happen to anybody else. How do we make a big picture change? And so that's what we help strategize with them. And that's oftentimes what their case is oriented to do, to not only help them, but to help other people as well. We've litigated class action lawsuits, which have been very effective, where, a lot of public interest firms, they'll sue the government, right? And so if they beat the government, typically bureaucrats just want to be told what to do. So if you win, they're just like, okay, instead of doing it way A, we'll now do it way B. But with unions, when they're your opposition, often they say, well, if you take away way A, I have B, C, D, E, and F to get around that. And so when you do a class action lawsuit, it brings a lot more fuller relief across the board and bigger picture. And so that is one of the tools that we use at our law firm to be able to help our clients that way.
How many people are on your team?
We have 7 full-time litigators right now, and the firm is at, I think, 16 people. So we've been steadily growing, and it's just been really neat. We're in Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Colorado, and I'm sure you won't be shocked, but federal government unions are just as bad. So we're representing the federal government employees too.
So some of your work is state law based. So you're having to learn the laws of different states. Are the laws wildly different from state to state?
It's really interesting because I think that's one of the interesting parts of our work, because the state labor laws, while they have generally similar components, like you said, they're very different state to state in precedent, in development. And that's why one of the things we face, one of the biggest hurdles we face actually is it's not similar, or it's not the same everywhere. And so we're constantly, when we go into a new jurisdiction, we have to get the lay of the land. The culture of the unions are different, the client needs are different, and the laws are really different. And so we have to hire high-level, talented attorneys, because this isn't a copy and paste type practice. You have to think through every single situation. And, we've had situations where there's really nothing being done, to the point that the labor board will say, we don't really have a form for that. Could you make up the form? And so multiple times now, we've actually made up our own form to file it with a state labor board, the federal labor board, because they've never done the type of case that we're going to bring. And so I was talking with our managing attorney the other day, and he was saying, I tell people all the time, our practice, the only similarity is union officials doing illegal stuff. He said, other than that, we're touching so many different types of area law, because to really bring relief to our clients, we've done ERISA cases, torts, contracts, constitutional cases, corruption cases. It's just across the board, and it makes for a very fun practice, but you've really got to be on your game.
Absolutely. Interesting. Talked about the Janus decision at the top. And of course, again, that decision prohibited mandatory union dues for public employees. Talk about how that ruling has changed the landscape for public sector workers.
Yeah, I think the Janus decision was a really nice step forward, but it wasn't a complete solution for everybody. And so Janus pretty simply was that if you were not a member of the union, you no longer had to pay any fees or any types of dues to the union. Because back pre-Janus, even if you were out of the union and the union still represented the place where you worked, basically, like all the teachers in a school district, even if you weren't a member, you still had to pay the union a certain amount of fees. And that actually caused a lot of litigation. Early in my career, we were doing a lot of that type of work. But now going forward, if you're not a member of the union and you're at a school district where the union represents you, your place of employment, basically, you don't have to pay any fees. That has made a big difference for, I think, non-members' interactions with the union. They have a lot less conflict in some ways that way. But the world is so much bigger than just the union fee issue. And I think that's one of the things that our practice is really good about. We represent union members, non-members, membership organizations, because public sector union officials can really hurt the rights of many people, taxpayers across the board. And so we're not focused on just the non-member, but we can represent a whole lot of people when the union officials break the law. And one thing we did after Janus is we really focused on the membership issue, because if you're not a member of the union, you can claim your Janus rights, but if you're a member, or if you can't get out of the union, you can't claim them. And so we really focused on litigation surrounding that. And in Pennsylvania, we were able to remove membership restrictions from a number of CBAs. We filed even a couple of class action lawsuits around it. And so because of our work, about 50,000 public employees in Pennsylvania now can resign whenever they want, which then means they can claim their Janus rights.
Yes. Interesting. Well, I remember back in 2018, there was a lot of celebration about the Janus decision and
Sure.
what it meant, as if that were the end.
Mm-hmm.
But to your point, it was really only the beginning. In some ways, that was the easy part.
Right,
as difficult as it was getting to that decision, that it's the implementation and the enforcement of what that now means.
Right, and really staying
subject
on
a lot
top
of what
it.
you do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's everywhere from enforcing Janus rights to helping people claim their Janus rights, and then well beyond all of that too, things that have nothing even to do with Janus, really. Because for us, the Janus rights component is a small portion of our portfolio, really.
Interesting. I mean, let's delve into that. I mean, I imagine a lot of your cases involve relatively small financial disputes, but at the same time raise some pretty important constitutional principles. I got to guess that a lot of lawyers not in public interest law are just not wanting to take cases like that because of the dollars involved. Why is it crucial for an organization such as yours, such as Fairness, to take on these cases? And how do you balance the practical aspects and the principled aspects of your work? Maybe that's one of the beauties of public interest law, is it's less driven by the dollar.
I mean, I think that's one of the huge appeals, because, let's take, for instance, a public school teacher who found out that the teacher union now is supporting all sorts of candidates and agendas that she doesn't like. And so she goes to resign from the union, and, for whatever multiple reasons, they say, nope, you can't get out of the union. Tough luck. You're still a union member. Well, in that situation, we would say her constitutional rights have been violated. First Amendment, freedom of association, you can even throw speech in there sometimes. And so what does she do now? Well, number one, a lot of attorneys don't know what the next step is because it's a very small area, niche law. But the other thing is, what economic incentive does she have to file a lawsuit that could be $50,000, $100,000, when on her end, if she gets out of the union, maybe she doesn't have to pay $900 or $1,100 a year? Like, economically, you can be as principled as they come, but that's pretty big for, a public employee to be able to pony up for a big First Amendment 1983 federal lawsuit. And so we have the real honor of being able to stand in the gap for these people and say, you know what, we can represent you for free, and we can allow you to go and defend your constitutional rights, which, in this country, if we don't have our First Amendment rights, boy, we're in bad shape. That's what this all is built off of. And so it's so important. It's so important that these principled people are empowered to be able to defend their constitutional rights. And we're the law firm that gets to help them do that.
I mean, beyond Janus, what other constitutional issues are out there? And with respect to all of the issues out there, how do these employees find you? How do they even know that they have these rights? Is education an issue? I would guess that it is.
Yeah, I mean, we are referred.
Unions certainly aren't telling them.
Yeah, no, they're not. In fact, they often tell them the wrong thing. We get a lot of word of mouth referrals. So a lot of happy clients from the past will refer their friends. It's really interesting. A lot of our clients are the bravest of folks because they will come to us and tell us about the issue they're having, and we'll say, is this happening to anybody else? They're like, yeah, there's about 19 other people, but I'm the only one that's willing to stick my neck out for this. And we're like, okay, so we'll file a lawsuit. You're not going to get fired. We're going to protect you. And then slowly we see other people start raising their hands and trickling in. So it's those really brave clients that we initially have that will open up these little pockets of other clients to find us and come in. That's part of why a strategy of representing people in the court of law and the court of public opinion is so important, because our court of public opinion is everything from op-eds to advertising to, giving our clients a platform to tell their story, to really expose the union's illegal acts and to build public support around our clients. So we'll get a lot of clients just seeing that and coming into us. And so other constitutional cases we've been involved with, we had a Hartford public school teacher. He was a phys ed teacher for over 30 years, never had any discipline. And he was put through a mandatory DEI training. And at the end offered his opinion of hey, I really disagree with that. I think he said I was man bashed and white shamed, and I'm just going to sit here quietly. And well, unbeknownst to him, they started an investigation because he said that, and they didn't tell him until 3 months later. Now, at the end of a 12-month investigation, they gave him a disciplinary letter in his file, made him go to sensitivity training, and he calls it reprogramming. And he asked the union if they would represent him and file a grievance, and they said, no, you're not a member, so we're not going to represent you. So this scenario led to two cases, one at the Connecticut Labor Board for the representational issue, and we actually won for our client there. And because the Connecticut Labor Board said, nope, you represent that bargaining unit and all those teachers, so you need to represent him whether he's a member or not. So we won there. They even called the union's argument wholly frivolous. That's how bad it was. But the constitutional case now was he gave his opinion on something and was retaliated against. So it was a retaliation for expressing an opinion, First Amendment right sort of case. And so we filed that in federal court for him. And just recently, the union or the school district was trying to get rid of it on motion for summary judgment. And we actually had a opinion come out very recently where the judge said, nope. The summary is basically he was speaking as a citizen and he had the right to offer an opinion on that. The case gets to go forward. We're not a DEI firm. We're not an anti-Semitism firm or anything like that. But the unions are violating people's constitutional rights and discriminating against them based off of, being Israeli or DEI. The unions are blessing a lot of DEI programs. And if anyone speaks up against it, they're being retaliated against. So a big part of our practice underlying that is constitutional rights, and other Title VII rights. But it's getting into these really interesting cultural issues that are very relevant and pressing today.
So beyond legal issues, do you find that your clients are often ostracized in their workplaces? I mean, it's got to be incredibly difficult to go to work every day, I would think.
I mean, some of them have experienced really horrendous things all the way to just kind of, I get ignored now, and that's kind of the worst. But I think it really is difficult for them when they stand up against a union. And then, we've had teachers tell us at, say, an assembly where everyone's together, they will sit alone on basically one side of the room because no one will sit with them because they're just totally ostracized, like what you were saying. Everything from that to threaten. And then sometimes they're just kind of left alone. I think sometimes with litigation, even if the union's very unhappy and others are unhappy, you know how it is. The lawyers come in and say, hey, don't talk to them, don't do anything. And so they're largely just kind of left alone.
More along these lines, I know your work has uncovered many examples of union misconduct ranging anywhere from contract violations to outright corruption. Give us some of the more egregious examples that you've run across, and what's that tell us about the accountability of public sector unions?
Yeah, I mean, so one of the ones that I think is a good example, we had two clients come to us and say, we think our union treasurer is stealing money. And we said, well, why do you think that? And they're like, well, we got copies of these checks where he wrote the check to himself and then signed the check. And we're like, well, yeah, that could be a problem.
Yes, so.
And yeah, that seems to be some real evidence. So we filed a lawsuit for them, and a month later, the Pennsylvania State Police came in and arrested this union treasurer. And we thought this case was maybe about like 20, 30,000 in missing dollars. And he was also writing checks to his friend. So that was kind. He was very generous. And but as we started pulling the strings, it came to pass that was a local union, but the state affiliate, they were missing about 2 million. And so far, 6 of their officials have been arrested, and there's now, DA's office involved and everything like that. And so it was really, but because of our clients who, raised their hand and came to us and said, hey, we think this is going on. Now, all of these other things have been discovered and found out. We had another case where the union we were litigating against, they actually had filed illegal PAC filings, which they admitted to on the stand. The guy didn't take the fifth. He just said, yep, I signed it. I knew it was wrong, and they did it. They also admitted on the stand how they had set up a C3 that was supposed to be a entity to raise money for fallen firefighters' families. And, well, they're blowing through a lot of money in the union, and so the boards were the same, and they passed money from the C3 into the union and gave themselves a pretty steep discount on the loan rate. And it's just stuff that as they're talking about, you're just going, oh my goodness, this is wild. And we have one case where there was an IRS employee who she was trying to resign from the union, and the union president or the official said, you better stop or else I'm going to call your boss and get you in trouble. And she said, no, I think it's my right to resign. So she still sent her letter. Well, sure enough, her supervisor at the IRS called her in and said, I'm going to put a letter in your file for harassment. And she said, why harassment? She said, well, because you're asking the union official how to resign and harassing him about it. And so we filed charges for her against the union and the IRS, and the Federal Labor Relations Authority found against the IRS and said, yeah, you can't do that. And the neat thing there was they had to tell 2,500 of her coworkers that they messed up, and and she got out of the union and the discipline was removed, all that type of thing. But we were like, you know what? We think the union probably still had some involvement in that. And so we FOIA'd the emails and found out that the union official had actually said, hey, help me shut her up, help me take care of her, sort of thing. So the union was working with the employer to discipline this employee. So, we've now appealed that and saying, hey, maybe you should look at the union too on this. And the list really goes on. We've found stuff where they were using union dues to fly union officials' girlfriends on like island vacations, $12,000 Rolex watch, tickets to musicals, baseball games, the Super Bowl. There's been hush money payments, all sorts of things that often unions just aren't held accountable. No one questions them. No one sues them. A lot of times, again, going back to what we were saying earlier, there's just not a lot of financial incentive to. So if you don't find an organization like ours that can bring a top-notch legal team and do it pro bono, the unions know they can just kind of trample people's rights repeatedly and never get caught. So, I was talking with one of our clients, and he was just saying, the unions are supposed to be the check on the system, but who checks the check? And then he pointed at me, he's like, you guys are the check. And I was like, yeah, that's actually a good way to look at it.
Well, I mean, to that point, I'm sure you hear all the time that what you're doing is undermining collective bargaining and it's weakening worker protection. What's your response to that?
I mean, my simple response to that is we're just holding union officials accountable to following the law. They often are trampling people's constitutional rights or other legal rights. They get away with it because of a lot of things that we've just talked about. And so all we're doing is trying to make sure they follow the law. No matter what you agree with as far as collective bargaining goes or something like that, they should at least follow the laws that are in place. And that's what we're helping our clients to do, is to hold them accountable to follow the law.
Moving beyond just day-to-day work that you're doing and looking from a broader perspective, what does success look like for the Fairness Center? What are you trying to accomplish? It's never going to be perfect, but what's success?
Yeah, I think we have a couple things that we look at. Number one, we're a client-centric firm. So what does our client want to accomplish? And
Yes.
We've been able, even though we are on a cutting edge area, we're often doing things that have no precedent and haven't been done before. Currently, we're sitting at about an 89% success rate in accomplishing our clients' goals. So I'd say that's a pretty good marker. And one of the things that they really want to do, that's not bad, right? You never know. It could vary any year, but right now we've been pretty successful that way. And our clients are happy about that. But the outcome of that, as I said earlier, a lot of our clients want to shift the culture. They want to make sure this doesn't happen for other people, not just them. And so I think success is seeing the culture change as our clients want it to. And I would, again, just going back to what I said earlier, I think we've really had objective, substantive change in the states that we've focused in. And that is very exciting to me. And I know that it is for our attorneys as well when we see that happening. And the other thing is just giving our clients a platform to tell their story, right? Whether it's through an op-ed or a TV interview. But a lot of them, that's all they want. They just want people to know. You know, a lot of times they're like, I don't want money back. I don't want this. I just want people to know how my rights have been violated. And so that is success, leveling the playing field for them. A lot of these unions have big time law firms that come in, highly paid attorneys,
Yes.
just, you know, big guns coming in. Well, we need to be equally up to the task and be able to, you know, as you know, being an attorney, there is a real range of attorneys. And if you're not ready to fight the best with the best, through either rules or arguments or briefing, you can get really outdone. And so we have to be up to the task for our clients as well. And I think we are. And I'm really proud of our firm for that.
Are there a lot of cases that you don't take?
Our philosophy, because we plant an estate and we want to file repetitive litigation, is usually a lot of cases if they fall within our mission and if we think that, you know, obviously they're not frivolous or something like that, we will take them because that's part of kind of policing the unions and holding them accountable and making sure that they're not stepping out of line. And that's how we're affecting long-term change for our clients, is that, you know, okay, the union did this once and they maybe had to pay out some money, but no one's there then to stop them from doing it the second or third time. Well, we want to be those people who are there to stop them the second and third time. And eventually they'll give up. And a good example of that is the resignation restrictions here in Pennsylvania. One of the unions, within like an 11 or 18 month time period, they would tell people, no, you can't get out of the union. So they'd find us and we'd sue them. And they're like, okay, they can get out of the union, and they give them their money back. And then another person would come to us and we do the same thing. And then another person would come to us and they do the same. And people might be like, well, why are you taking, they're all the same types of cases. What are you doing? Well, you know what? By the sixth person, the union finally said, you know what? We're not going to do this anymore. They pulled the resignation restriction out of their policy, out of their collective bargaining agreement. And that collective bargaining agreement applied to 29,000 people. So now 29,000 people don't have a resignation restriction because of our 6 cases, our 6 clients. And we just sued and sued and sued until it finally wasn't worth it to them. And, you know, a really rewarding story that happened about a year after that was a potential client called us about something totally different, not about resignation, but he was telling me, he's like, the oddest thing, we used to always get told no when we wanted to resign. I just wrote a letter and got right out. And I started chuckling. He's like, why are you laughing? I was like, well, that didn't happen by accident. I said, that's
by accident.
Yeah, that's right. That's because the last year, there were a lot of lawsuits brought over that. And he's like, oh, look at that. But, just hearing the real world effect that our work is having was really rewarding.
That's terrific. Last question, Nathan. What do you see as the biggest challenges facing public sector employees' constitutional rights today? And what gives you hope about the future of worker liberty?
Yeah, I think the biggest problems are even beyond the constitutional problems. We talked about a couple of the constitutional issues, but unions, public sector unions, really where we focus, are really in every facet of life, whether it's constitutional violations or pushing DEI or anti-Semitism or racism, sexism, corruption, across the board. Any policy issue that you care about, public sector unions have something to say about that, larger than just collective bargaining with public sector unions. And so I would say pick the issue and our clients are involved with it somehow, and we're addressing it in some way. And so that's kind of the scope, which is large. But why I'm hopeful is because we've actually been able to be successful across the board on a lot of these different things. And, to give you one example, in Connecticut, where we are, we have had success at the labor board, in the state court, and the federal court. And I remember when we first announced expansion up into Connecticut, people are like, why are you going into the Northeast? Don't the unions own everything? Aren't you wasting your time? And we thought it was a strategic decision to be there for some reasons. And just over the years we've been there now, we've won in every jurisdiction, every venue, and we're winning in tough places. And that gives me a lot of hope. Our win rate gives me a lot of hope. And just that people are getting bold and being willing to come and say, hey, here's another issue, help me tackle it. And that gives me a lot of hope for the future.
Janus or other reasons, it seems like there's been a tremendous amount of progress in this space over the last, 8-9 years.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of decisions and victories that, especially public employees, but all of us can look and say, hey, constitutional rights are being defended. Courts are going the right way on a lot of this.
Fantastic. Nathan McGrath, thanks so much for spending time with us today. And thanks so much for all that you and your team do on behalf of so many workers across the country. We truly do appreciate it, and I'm sure they do even more.
Thank you so much, Rick. It was a pleasure to be here.
And as always, thanks to all of you for joining us on this episode of Voices of Freedom.
Join us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for our next conversation on issues impacting our freedom and America's foundational principles. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. I'm Rick Graber, and this is a Bradley Foundation podcast.
College football. Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and return this one. The coverage team maintains his discipline, not much doing on that return. So the Arizona Wildcats offense will get first crack at it today. It's not often we focus on a matchup quite like this, but David, we have a couple of premier tight ends in this game.
And we've seen it recently, right? Ty Warren last year, Brock Bowers the year before. Like, you can build an offense around an elite tight end, and both of these schools do it. The speed, the playmaking ability, the versatility. Palmer, I bet you wish you had a guy like this you could throw to.
You're right, David. I played with a lot of NFL guys at tight end, but none of them were as dynamic as these two right here. And you're going to see them get the ball in a variety of ways. We're seeing offense change in college football. And one of the biggest reasons is the versatility now at the tight end position. And these are two of the best in the entire country.
Back to throw, it's Fafita using the quick game. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short.
And frankly, if that's a completion, it's not going to make the end of season highlight reel, but in this game, it could lead to a highlight reel type play. The offensive coordinator may be setting something big up for later in the game.
And the Wildcats come to the line on third and short, trying to convert here. On third and short, they'll try to throw for it. That was almost picked off, and what a disaster that would have been to throw a pick on the opening drive. Instead, it's fourth down. Arizona runs out the punt team. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. A low line drive and short kick. He'll call for the fair catch here. So SMU's offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. And the story is going to be in this one. Will this quarterback be able to operate before that big fella on the defensive front gets right in his grill, Jesse?
And listen, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, but he better play with the clock in his head in this one. He's not going to have a lot of time. There were a lot of quarterbacks around the SEC that probably felt this way back when they played the Georgia Bulldogs and David Pollock, right?
Yeah, especially those real teams with Jordan Davis and Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. But, like, here's what's fun. You can't throw the ball off your back. And that's what this guy's going to try to do. Get to the quarterback, affect him. The bottom line is every quarterback becomes really human when you hit him. Can he hit him and make him human?
They'll try to move the chains on this third and long from the 50. Looking for a man. It's Jennings. Gets it out quickly. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. Just not able to shake enough defenders and comes up a little bit short.
And I think a lot of times on third down, Reese, you bet on your guy. When you're an offensive guy, you say, okay, he's going to break a tackle, he's going to get north and south and somehow get the first down. Nice tackling by the defense, understanding where they had to get to and forcing the fourth down.
The punt goes out of bounds, and a nice job to get them backed up. I think they'll spot it right around the 15. They'll start this drive going to the air. Snagged in the middle. It's Hudson.
And quarterback dropping back, understanding I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the first down.
The Wildcats with a second and short to keep this drive moving. They'll go to the ground. Runs through a tackle. Stopped at about the 25-yard line, but it'll be a first down.
All right, nothing flashy there. He just did what it took to get the first down.
They'll snap it from the 25 here on first down. Looking downfield on first down. Got it in the middle. It's Hunter. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45.
The thing I like about this slot receiver, he's really intentional in his route running. The quarterback always knows exactly where he's going to be on the field. They've got great chemistry together.
Arizona going back to work with another first down. looking to throw on first down. He misses his man. The accuracy just not what it needed to be on that play.
I love the decision by the quarterback. He found the open man, just don't love the throw. Got to be a little bit more accurate, make it easier on your target.
Plenty of work to do here on second and long. To the air, it's Fafita. Makes the catch. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
I really like the slot receiver. And I understand he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he just runs really good routes, and he's always under control. He can run option routes. He can run double moves. He does a great job cutting, and he's dangerous after the catch. Nice weapon to have work in the middle of the field.
Wants to throw it. Fears the pressure. Finds the tight end. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the...
Agentic AI took my big goals and broke them down into tiny little steps.
Why is that bad?
It's okay to be a little scared of agentic AI. I used to live in a factory full of toxic waste. Until Optimizely offered me a gig as a super agent. Now I help folks like yourselves navigate a challenging marketing landscape.
I want to be a super agent.
You're 5, but you should still check out this website.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. With Skyrizi, feel symptom relief at 4 weeks. Many people were in remission at 12 weeks, at 1 year, and even at 3 years.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's.
Control is everything.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Skyrizi.
Down. The Wildcats will have to send out the punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Here's the fair catch, and he'll make it close to the 20-yard line. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. He leaves it with his back. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
That is a great play by the defensive end. The most athletic players on the field play defensive end. Yes, you heard me, Jess, Reese. Exactly what I said. Great get off. Great job getting in the backfield, making the play.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. The short hands, it's Maryland. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
Well, nice completion there, finding the tight end. And what's so beautiful about that is while they didn't get the first, they were able to pick up enough yards now to make the third down manageable, really putting this offense in a good position.
Facing a third down and short from the 26. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the big fella. They'll keep this drive moving by picking up the first down. They have it at the 36.
Well, they pick up the first against zone coverage. The biggest key there is the quarterback understanding that A, it's zone, but B, what kind of zone is it? Is it one high safety? Is it two high safeties? And then you know instinctively where your best throw, where your highest percentage completion is based on what type of zone coverage it's going to be.
Got it in the middle, it's Singleton. They make the stop, and that will likely bring us to the end of the first quarter. It's been a defensive battle through the first period, and the stats tell that tale. Both sides trying to find a little rhythm and efficiency and move the ball some here as we start the second quarter. After the short completion, let's see if they go back to the air. Got a man, it's Cooper. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
Now, you put those slot receivers in there, and here's why you do it. You back them off the football a lot of times, but who's guarding them? A lot of times, those are linebackers. Those are safeties. You get those good matchups where you can feature one of your speedsters, and a lot of times, good things happen.
From the gun, the running back looking for room. They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense.
And that's a great job by the defense, understanding exactly the situation, understanding to stay home, play sound. No matter who gets the football, we're going to run to the football hard. We're going to cage the football, be disciplined. Nice job by the defense.
The Mustangs will punt it away on 4th down. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Fair catch is made inside his own 20 at the 17-yard line. Wants to throw. It's Fafita. Release to the back. He's got it. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped, and it'll be 1st down.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the 1st down.
They'll snap this one from the 32. It's 1st down. To the air on 1st down. Caught over the middle. It's Burnett. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
They're able to find the tight end for an easy completion, but good job tackling, not allowing him to get the 1st down.
Got the completion on the last play. Still some work to do on 2nd down. Off play action. Incomplete. Man, oh man, is that one this junior would love to have back.
It seemed like there may have been a miscommunication there between the QB and receiver, just not on the same page.
We'll see if they go back to the air after the incompletion. It's 3rd and 5. Looking to throw on 3rd. Unleashes it on the run. Got his man to the left. Steered out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. A big pickup, and they are threatening.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
Not the most productive half for this offense so far, but finally starting to get it in gear. 1st and 10. Fires to the tight end. And that had all the makings of bug meat windshield, but how about the little corner taking on the big tight end and keeping him from getting the 1st? Picked up some yardage with that completion, now 2nd down. Grabbed over the middle, that's Burnett. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
The biggest rule change for me, if I could make one in all of college football, would be illegal man downfield. And when they run these RPO plays and those linemen start to creep further and further down the field, I would love for the refs to call those more often. It's a cheating play, basically, running these RPOs. So hard to stop. Nice execution by the offense, but probably cheating too.
He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a 1st without scoring. From the gun, running back gets to give. And he'll finish the run and the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats! Precision blocking up front created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0. They put together an 81-yard drive, and the scoring play came on the 12-yard run. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. He'll bring it out. It's Johnson. Rolling the Mason bringing it out of the end zone did not pay off. He's out of bounds at the 19. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Dropping back, it's Jennings. Fires to the middle. A strike downfield. And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44. Last season, Kevin Jennings took over as the SMU quarterback, and they went 11-1 before stumbling in the ACC championship game and in the college football playoff. What does he need to focus on in terms of improvement?
Just avoiding the turnovers, Reese. If Kevin Jennings does that, and this offense is virtually unstoppable because of his ability to extend plays and create, his accuracy throwing vertically down the field, SMU has everything they need. Rhett Lashley is going to have a lot of fun calling plays. If this guy takes that next step, watch out. This is a team vying for the college football playoff.
Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and they've got a chance to lock this thing up before the break. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Back to pass. He lost one down the sideline. He's got it inside the 15. Touchdown Mustangs. All that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score.
Yeah, and the passing game comes through, man, and we need more of that in the second half. An extra point away from tying this football game. We trailed a little bit in the first half, stayed calm. If this passing game can continue to heat up, look out in the second half.
Setting up for the extra point and the tie. And the extra point is good. Quick strike offense on that three-play scoring drive. And they close the deal with a 58-yard touchdown pass. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. And here's the return. And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground. First play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. From the gun, the ground game. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Man, what a spectacular play by that defensive end to come up with the tackle there.
And you see those guys get off the football so fast. Most of these guys are 250 to 275 pounds, but they get off the ball fast, low. And the offensive linemen, they have no chance to stop those guys as quick and as fast as they are.
Quickly out to the tight end. Across the 25, he's got room. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right?
The ones you love the most need you. Every second, every day. And while you wouldn't trade being their mom for anything, you wish there was a moment to be your best self again. You can't pour from an empty cup. What if you could take back control of your health and your life? At Fridays, you get more than a GLP-1 weight loss plan. You get a dedicated partner who's determined to bring out your healthiest you. Start taking control of your health journey at joinfridays.com.
when they're athletic because they make short throws turn into long gains because of his ability after the catch. It's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
Now on 1st and 10 from the 29. To the air, it's Fafita. Fires to the big fella. Across the 40, out of bounds at the 41, and a big pickup has this offense on the move. Really good job working through his progression. You get it to him quickly, and the big tight end has a chance to run a little.
And a really good job by the QB throwing an accurate throw. I got to hit those guys on the move, on the run, so they can do this. They can catch the football, get upfield, and chew up some extra yards.
And they pick up just a few on that completion. The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
To the air on 2nd down. Unloads to the wideout. Finds space on the right. Ball is loose. Recovered by the defense, and he's off. They knocked him down after the takeaway, and a big play for this defense.
Well, the quarterback got it to his receiver quickly and gave him an opportunity to make a few moves after the catch, but he's got to do a better job with ball security that time. That is a costly fumble.
Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. Wants to throw on 1st down. That's caught. It's Singleton. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. Quick timeout from the offense to save precious seconds. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Back to throw, time running short in the half. Grabbed in the middle, it's Knight. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. And the Mustangs come to the line on 3rd down, trying to keep this drive alive. Pass is incomplete, and we dwindle down to 7 seconds.
3rd and short like that on your own side of the field. You're just looking for a quick hitter. You're trying to get the ball out of your hand quickly, but the timing completely off there for the offense, and the ball falls incomplete.
The Mustangs line up to punt it away. He'll try to really get into this one. Wouldn't call it a shank, but I don't think he'll include it on his greatest hits. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Back to throw, it's Fafita. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. It's incomplete, and they tried to finish this quarter with a bang and couldn't quite connect. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Guys, 2 quarters down, and I've got to say, this has been a fun watch so far in Dallas. And talk about a good, competitive game so far. Not saying this has been the best first half we've seen in the history of these 2 programs, but they've matched each other's intensity, and the result has been, well, a good, competitive game so far. They don't call me the most creative man in broadcasting for nothing, you know. And with that, let's send it back to the guys at Gerald J. Ford Stadium.
AI. It is everywhere now, but marketers need to know why, if not how. If Agentic AI is confusing your crew, our new super agents can educate you.
We live for the moment. Whether across the world or right across the table, we live to be there. Meet a new way to experience CNN.
Arizona set to start this 2nd half. They'll kick it off. Here he comes with the return. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The SMU offense is headed back onto the field. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get in the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Palmer? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and on defense. We're going to find out here.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Well, give the defense credit on that one because they knew coming into this one that they were going to try to get this receiver the ball in a variety of ways. They were ready for the screen there, and they create a negative play.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Looking downfield, it's Jennings. Fires to the right. Got a man, it's Knight. Breaks into the open. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down.
Well, this guy's having a day. It doesn't matter where he's lined up or what routes he's running. He just seems to always be getting open, and his quarterback is taking notice. He's looking his way. Nice job there, throwing in time, getting it to him in space and allowing him to go to work. This is turning into a very nice statistical day for this wide receiver.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Good pickup there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
You know, as a defense, you can have the right call and the right guy in the right spot, but that guy's just too good. And how about the running back on that play? Just making it happen, breaking off the huge gain. It's tough to get these guys on the ground.
And the Mustangs are on the move. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Pocket breaking down. Took a shot as he threw.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long, different ways to affect him, weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
This has been a tight one, 3rd quarter, all tied up. It's now 2nd and 10. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside.
And the offense has a little bit of success, and what do? They push that turbo button right back on the line, ready to run another play.
The Mustangs lining up, just needing a few tough inches on 3rd down. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. They'll pick up enough yardage for the first down. They've got it at the 30.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down, and they got to keep that up here in the second half.
Turning it on! Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
First down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big gain.
And the Mustangs pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. They'll move the wide receiver. Quarterback run is part of their game plan. Got to protect the merchandise. Gets down without taking a hit.
Well, they try to go quarterback design run on that play, but the defense just not buying it. Nice job, everybody playing downhill and making a tackle close to the line of scrimmage.
Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Looking to throw, it's Jennings. He's got it on the run. That completion takes them down to the 7-yard line, and they are ready to strike.
It's a nice job running the in route there by the receiver. And the best thing he did after he made his break, he didn't trail and fade away. He actually attacked the football. That's a good lesson for young receivers out there watching.
Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. Third down. Got his man on the right. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. They were really hopeful he could make a guy or two miss and pick up the first down, but he comes up a little short.
Yeah, and it's great defense. It's defense understanding where the sticks are, not missing tackles, getting the guy on the ground quickly. Really nice job by the defense understanding the situation.
Going for the marker on the ground. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs. Well, this is not what the doctor ordered in terms of starting field position. Wants to go up top on first down. Gonna let it fly. Pulls it in down the sideline. Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense.
What a throw on first down on the first play of the drive. And I think sometimes quarterbacks are given an alert on a specific play. And what that means is maybe the ball was supposed to go to somebody else. But in pre-snap, if the quarterback sees a matchup he likes, he's given the green light to take the shot. And I think that's exactly what happened on that play.
And I think they'll give him 2 on that with 2nd and 8 coming up.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
To the air. It's Fafita. Completes it in the middle. Oh, he's got some space. There to make the tackle, and with that, we'll head to the fourth quarter. They fought tooth and nail through 3, and it is all locked up as we take a look at the stats. These two teams about to find out what they're made of as we open the fourth all tied up. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down.
Wow. 4 plays on this drive by the offense. They already got 3 first downs. We knew they had a lot of playmakers coming into this game, and they're showing that right now. This defense is going to have to make a play at some point here and stop the bleeding.
They'll ride the hot hand. Tough, determined run gets it down to the 12. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. They'll run it from the gun. He almost punched it in for 6. They'll get him down at the 1-yard line.
And I think that's what you want to see from this offense down the stretch. Like, can you physically dominate the game? You've got the lead. Now run the football, eat clock, continue to feed your dude.
And now this offense on first and goal has a chance to break the tie late. They'll try to get it in with the run. Touchdown, Arizona. They move on top here in the fourth.
And the running back gets his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. You want to continue to feed this guy. You can tell he's got a nose for the end zone, knows how to get in there, knows how to make things happen.
They'll try to add another to their lead. The extra point is good, and now in the fourth, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up second and short. Brings up second down. Power football with the run. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
They needed only 1 yard. Good job by the offensive line, getting just enough push to keep this drive alive.
And this set of downs gets started from the 33, first and 10. Might as well give it to him again. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, or whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them, because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion.
There he goes. Makes the grab almost to the first down marker, but a good pickup on that one. The Mustangs come to the ball trying to pick up this third and short. To the air, it's Jennings. Behind his tight end. They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chain.
Good drivers can save up to $1,200 a year with Root Insurance. We celebrate good drivers with savings. Just download the app and get on the road for a bit. Root Insurance. Drive and save.
Hi, you guys also roaming around here? Hey, we ain't roaming. Get Bike Sim Unlimited. Always connected.
In search of that tying touchdown. They've moved the chains a couple of times. It's first and 10 again. Looking to throw on first down. Pulls it in. It's Hudson. Stopped after a good pickup, and he'll be just a tad short of the first down.
And this offense just hasn't found a way to kind of open it up. Like, they haven't found those explosive plays. It feels like the defense is kind of strangling them and staying really close to the line of scrimmage because of their lack of their big play ability over the top. This offense has to dial something up.
Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is looking for a play to close this deal out. And the Mustangs can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Looking to fire. He hurls one deep down the left side. Touchdown, SMU! They went for the big play, and boy, did it ever pay off.
Hey, great job executing. The offense did what they needed to do. You got somewhat of a decision here. Do you want to kick it, tie it up? I think you do with this time frame. 1 to 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You probably want to do that, but you could push the envelope. You could go for 2 and try to take the lead.
Big point after here, looking for the tie late. And no problem on that extra point, and we have a tie ball game here in the fourth. They march 78 yards down the field, and they finish things off with a 44-yard touchdown pass. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start in the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Back to pass, it's Fafita. Wide open downfield. Just gashing this defense, a big gainer to the 40-yard line.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
One big play, and you go from a little backed up to threatening. It's 1st and 10 from the 40. Looking downfield on 1st down. Pulls it in. It's Hunter. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the 1st down.
And these quarterbacks have to really trust their wide receivers that they're going to be disciplined and run to the right route when they're throwing that ball to the outside like that, because those corners are sitting there on the inside, and the worst thing that could happen is to miss inside and that cornerback get going the other direction.
They'll leave it with him. He'll be pulled down after a good run. They'll mark it at the 15. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. The Wildcats with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. They'll run play action. Throws to the wideout. On target over the middle. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the 1st down.
And they've trusted him to throw the football all game. I expect nothing to change whatsoever. They're going to put it on his back, or his arm, I guess you could say, and let him throw this team to victory.
Touchdown Wildcats! And they grab the advantage, taking the lead here in the 4th.
What a great game, tied late in the ball game. Who's going to make the big play? They come up with it late, take the lead. Nice execution. It's hard to execute in these moments. People get tight. The score's tied late in the game. I don't want to mess up, but this offense doesn't worry about messing up. They put the ball in the end zone and take the lead.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. The extra point is good, and now in the 4th, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. They put together a 5-play, 5-yard drive, and they close the deal, pushing their way inches into the end zone. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, that they get him on the ground at the 20. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Motion from the back. Looking to pass. It's Jennings. Fires to the wideout. Good hands in there by the defense to force the incompletion.
Well, this defense has had the QB's number all game long. One of the reasons why is because this cornerback, when he's on an island, he's winning the 50-50 balls, and he's not letting anything get thrown over his head downfield. Great job in coverage, disguising what he's doing and knocking balls away.
Looking up top, and time is of the essence. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass D.
And this is a big 3rd down for this offense, man. I'm really interested to see how they attack, because this defense, you can tell, man, they're going to continue to play aggressive. Late in the football game, they want to get a stop, get the ball back to their offense. A good chess match going on right now.
3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Catch in the middle, it's Knight. Solid work and execution there. They'll have
Agentic AI took my big goals and broke them down into tiny little steps.
Why is that bad?
It's okay to be a little scared of agentic AI. I used to live in a factory full of toxic waste. Until Optimizely offered me a gig as a super agent. Now I help folks like yourselves navigate a challenging marketing landscape.
I want to be a super agent.
You're 5, but you should still check out this website.
And they've trusted their QB to throw the football. And he's going to have to make plays. He's made plays throughout the day. This is now when you come up clutch in a big moment when your team needs it. If that's any indication, I like what I'm seeing.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Catch in the middle. It's Maryland. They stop him just a link or two short of the 1st. And man, what they can do on 2nd down here. The Mustangs come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. Wants to pass, and he's got to make a play. The short hands, it's nice. And he gets out of bounds to stop the clock as the offense moves closer, trying to pull it out. He knew exactly what they needed there, made the play, and got out of bounds to stop the clock.
And you got to keep this turbo mode on, right? We got to keep going fast. The clock's running down. Fourth quarter, need a score. Great execution to get the first down. We need a lot more of this on this drive.
Looking downfield, it's Jennings. Unloads it left. Missed his receiver there. It's incomplete. What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Back to throw, and he needs to make a play. Throws for the tight end. Got his man downfield. Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it first and goal at the 6. And with that one, he's now over 3 bills for the game.
And there's 2 reasons why, Reese. He's made good decisions, and he's been accurate throwing the football all game long.
After that huge gain, now a chance to cash it in from just outside the 5. Lets it fly. Can't make the grab as he was looking for his man right at the goal line.
Well, defense, you need one more play. You force that incompletion, and now you've got to find a way to keep the opponent out of the end zone to force this game into overtime.
After getting nothing, it's second and goal from the 6. Looking up top, and time is of the essence. Oh, and they get to him. Had a chance for an all-time finish, but the defense put a stop to it, and that's the final play of the game. tremendous matchup between these two running backs, both stars in their own right. David, both ready to make a huge impact.
I mean, how fun is it to have two guys, one on each side, when they have the football, like they can go the distance. Just dynamic speed, great vision. These defenses are in trouble because these guys can touch it a bunch of different ways, and Palmer, they can hit home runs from anywhere on the field.
And I think what makes them really unique too, David, is that they're very versatile guys. Both guys can run between the tackle box. They can take it outside. They can both catch the football as well. So no doubt the game plan for both offenses, feed the running back as many different ways as possible and just let him go to work.
Pulls and fires it complete to the right. At midfield, he's got room. They finally get him on the ground, and this junior turning in a big play after the catch.
And this defense is figuring out early in this football game, man. They've got to be dialed in because this passing attack, it's lethal because they get it to their speedsters, and after the catch, they're really good. Got to tighten up that coverage and get those guys on the ground when they catch the football.
And the Demon Deacons just got that huge run. They love another explosive play. Give to the running back. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down.
How about that for efficiency if you're on this offense right now? 3 plays, 3 first downs. They get that one running the football, great vision and open field running ability. Everything they're doing right now is working. This play caller is in a rhythm.
Coming out on first down with the play fake. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
And how nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder. The snapping the football, everybody being on time. Man, this crowd really affecting the football game.
This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Second down, he'll throw it. Caught in the backfield, it's Claiborne. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
Well, look, I know this guy is not the biggest running back in college football, but boy, is he dangerous, right? He's so shifty. He's hard to bring down. It's a good idea to get him going in the passing game. Put him out in space. Let's see what he can do.
Big third down in the red zone, and this crowd is getting behind this defense.
Well, we've seen this a couple times on this drive now, but having a lot of success with the quarterback sneak, and there's something going on up front right now, whether it's just the offensive line getting a better push or he's finding the crease to the right side of the center, to the left side. Whatever he's doing, it's working. The defense has not been able to stop him, and they just ride the center and the QB sneaks.
Grab behind the line. It's Hernandez. Trying to hit him with a quick game on first down, and nothing doing there. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The noise level is relentless here on second down. Off the play fake. Finds his big tight end. And he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Demon Deacons. You want to talk about a great way to start the game and set the tone early.
It's so nice to have a quarterback just get himself into the game, get himself established. You make a couple throws, you lead your offense down the field, you score right off the bat. Could not have been a better start for that QB.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first to score the game. And the extra point makes it 7-0. An 84-yard drive there. And they finish it up with a 15-yard scoring toss. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So Mississippi State's offense will try to get something going with their first possession. And David, we've got a quarterback today who's been known for making enough plays when his team needs them.
Yeah, and listen, he's a the guy that this offense is built around him, but Jesse, he's not the guy that's going to take over. He needs the running game to get going. He needs the passing game. He needs a little bit of balance. Really good football player, but he needs the help of the quality teammates around him.
Yeah, you're right. I think the one thing we've seen with this guy is he's got to get into a rhythm in games early, right? And so whether it's running the football or getting a few completions early to get his confidence going, because once that happens, he's very, very good.
That last completion sets him up on second down. He'll pull it on the read. He has the first and still on his feet. Good run on the play, and he slides to avoid the hit.
The defense has got to do a better job with assignment football. Somebody has to be accounting for the quarterback on these run plays. You know you're going to see it. You've seen it on film. The option play, nobody home. He just takes off. That's an easy first down pickup for the offense. Moving forward now, the defense, they've got to settle in, and they've got to start playing better when it comes to assignment football.
Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Here's the handoff. This time the defense was ready, and they stop him in his tracks.
You got to have that defense you know you can go to in running situations. Your base defense where you say, okay, this is where I'm going to start, and I'm going to stop the run, stuff it up front. My guys play big up front. Then if I need to add some blitzes to it later on down the road, I can. A great job in the base defense making a play.
A little screen to the running back. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop. They were banking on the yards after the catch, but that went into the negative column.
Yeah, and I'm banking on the ball coming out quick. When I'm a defense and understanding third and short, understand they're going to throw the ball really quickly, try to make a play. The defense knew it, broke on the football, made a nice tackle to force a fourth down.
He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. They'll put this one in play first snap of the drive from the 25. Gonna run it. It's Claiborne. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
As a head coach, you love it when your quarterback is locked in early. Opening drive, throws a touchdown pass. Really nice throw on that last play. Here in the second drive, he's firing on all cylinders. You can tell this guy did his homework coming into this game, and right now it's paying off.
Wants to throw on first down. Just a short pass to the tight end. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this first down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Red pass hits complete. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
Do you wear pajamas? You pajama people?
I'm a t-shirt.
Oh, you big
A
t-shirt.
big, extra large t-shirt.
I'm in either silk pajamas or nothing.
Uh-huh. You
Because
know,
I read something that it's very healthy for you not to wear any clothes when you go to bed.
wow, usually you read things about stuff that's unhealthy for you. You also read stuff that's good for you?
Yes, I have enormous resources.
Do you know that a while ago, I was asleep and I was taking care of my brother's dog, and the dog started barking, like incessantly. I knew something was unusual. I looked out the window and I saw a black bear in the yard. I was trying to get the dog to calm down and I couldn't. And and I was banging on the window to try to scare the bear off, and I couldn't. And then the dog wouldn't stop barking, so I grabbed 2 pots and pans and went outside.
You went outside with the bear
And I was
right
naked because I was sleeping.
How dumb are
And
you?
well, I was close enough to the door where I could run home if the bear started charging me. And so I go out and I start banging the pots naked. I trip the electric light switch, so I get flooded in light banging the pots. And when the lights come on in the yard, I see it was a black open umbrella that had blown into the yard.
Were you able to scare it away?
No, it had no reaction to me. So it was just a crazy naked man banging pots
Against
in the
throwing an
yard.
umbrella.
But I spent before I got out with my pots and pans, I spent like 20 minutes trying to scare away the
Did
umbrella.
that make you think you needed a new prescription or something for glasses that you mistook an umbrella for a bear? It's a little
There's
peculiar,
something not
Yeah.
quite right with me.
Really?
Anyway, that's one way to scare away a bear that doesn't exist. Welcome to Don't Listen to Us. I am Gideon Brody Patinkin.
And I'm Catherine.
Great. You don't have to give your last name if you don't want. If you want to just keep it private.
Catherine. Yeah.
Dad, who are you?
Menachem Mendel ben Eliezer.
Yeah.
What does all that mean?
That is his Hebrew name. Don't you even know that?
I don't know that.
Menachem Mendel. Menachem Mendel is my Menachem, my Hebrew
What's
name. Mendel. Menachem is a name.
Is Mendel in Hebrew?
Mendel is the Yiddish name. It means Mandel means Mendel means Mandel, which means almond. So they named me after a nut. Thank you, Mom and Dad. And Ben, son of Eliezer, my father Lester. His Hebrew name was Eliezer. So, what is your Hebrew name?
Gideon.
No, you have a Hebrew name.
Gidon.
Gidon.
Gidon. So Gidon ben Menachem Mendel.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Shocked you've never called me that before. Wait, the first one is Menachem?
Menachem is my Hebrew name. Mendel is my Yiddish name.
So what's my Yiddish name?
I don't know what his Yiddish name is. You had to get a Hebrew name for your bar mitzvah.
You don't have one.
Yeah.
You're just Gidon.
Well, that's exciting.
I'll get you a Yiddish name if you want.
Now look, if anybody needs some calm, look what I brought today. This is...
I'm so sorry I
Did
keep
I put you to
yawning
sleep
today. I don't know.
immediately? How does that make you feel? A little ding dong.
I like that sound.
Good. So if you're annoying each other,
Yes,
you give me a signal and I'll go.
Then, yeah, you'll be doing that. How often would you say, huh?
You don't annoy him as often as
As
you
I
think.
annoy you.
No, you never annoy me.
And Catherine is working on her faces to just let Mandy speak if he's having a thought. She's working on going. I mean, if you're watching it on YouTube, you'll see sometimes.
Keep your eye on me and watch what I do. I close my eyes while I'm talking so I don't have to see her faces telling me to shut the fuck up.
I know, that's good.
I worry. If she's making faces, it means she's at least listening to me, and that's all I care about.
There you go. Excellent. Okay, let's get to our first listener question today. It's an email from Sue, and it's about entertaining. Sue writes, I'm sure you've both entertained friends and family a lot over the years. I'd love to know your best and most popular dish or appetizer, and is there something you like to make for parties because you like it, but usually no one else does, so you know there will be leftovers. Smiley, cry, laughy face. My party favorites are liver pate with mushrooms and sweet onions, and Bloody Mary Jello, which is basically a slightly spicy tomato with paste with vodka. I love them both, and it's rare I don't have leftovers of at least one of them. Bloody Mary Jello, that sounds really
Bloody awful.
like bloody. It's just a terrible idea.
If you have me over for dinner, you'll have my portion left over, that's for sure.
Have you guys ever done this? Made something knowing that people won't eat a lot of it so that you get all the leftovers?
Oh, no, that's not true. We make more of my mother's stuffing for Thanksgiving, so there'll be leftovers because we love it.
And I also make
More cranberry sauce.
Yeah, and
for
tons of
Thanksgiving.
harosas for Passover. I mean, I make vats of it
Yeah.
because we eat it all week.
On Rosh
But that's
Hashanah-
just the opposite. I've never made anything for people knowing they won't like it.
On Rosh
which is-
Hashanah, we have a butterfly lamb that we what's called marinate in a half a cup of at equal proportions, I should say, of shoyu and honey, and then tons of garlic that we chop up and stab it all over the butterfly lamb. Put it in big baggies. Put it in the fridge so it's overnight.
And we eat that for
we
weeks.
make extra, so we have extra lamb because we love
So
it.
I do love Tina Jacobson's.
I'm gonna open up these windows so we have a little more
Tina
air. It's noisy up
Jacobson's
close.
flourless chocolate cake. I think it's the best I've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
And I have been known to hide pieces of that.
Do we make any things for Hanukkah in particular?
Latkes. Dad makes great latkes, so.
You remember trying to...
Yeah, but I got a great video out of it.
Yeah.
You guys were just in the kitchen. I was filming you. You're covered in sweat, angry, frustrated, and really hard potato
But
sweat.
Dad used to make great potato pancakes.
Well, I think we got to just follow my mother's
Yeah, I
recipe a
think
little.
that's true.
Yeah, you were both
little
yelling
more
at
to the
each
letter.
other,
Yeah.
referencing 4 different recipes
Yeah.
from 6 different
Also,
friends.
my kugel has taken a downturn. It used to be really delicious, and I've forgotten I do something. It's not as moist as
It may
used to
be for, it's not for entertaining, it's for entertaining Catherine and myself, our New Year's Eve meal,
Oh, yeah.
which is sour cream clam sauce, spaghetti with sour cream
Oh,
clam
yeah.
sauce.
Yeah,
so we
that's-
always make extra because the leftover is much better than,
Yeah.
than the...
And clams from the
first shot.
can, right?
Yeah.
Chopped
Clams, whole
clams.
baby clams from the can.
What kind of can? Always same company?
No.
It usually is from the
You can't
grocery
find
store we get it
anything
for. It usually is, and they're probably poisonous for you.
How did that dish become to be your New Year's dish? What
Miles Chapin, my friend Ted Chapin's brother Miles, made it.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And then there was a New Year's Eve, and I said, let me try and make this. And I called him, and he gave it to me, and we made it just the way he said, and we've kept to it. And it became our meal.
And
our
we
New
like
Year's
New
Eve meal.
Year's. We are very just duo New Year's celebrators. We don't like New Year's parties particularly. We found that out on our very first New Year's in '79. We
Oh,
were
yeah, we
very
hate-
big,
we hate New Year's.
big
I'm
party.
in bed by 8.
And Dad looked at me and said,
So that's like every
I
other
said,
night.
I think I said it too. I said, I have to tell you something. I really don't like New Year's Eve parties. And he said, neither do I. And that was the last one we went to.
And we kissed. And
I
said,
think.
You marry me?
I think we went
I
to
might have
one at Mary
inherited that
Beth's
from you.
once.
I don't really care for parties.
And then there's tuna burgers. David
Right.
Block's mother's tuna burgers, which I love. Always make extra.
From childhood, that's stable.
Childhood, second grade. O'Keefe School. Went over to David Block's house. Mom made tuna
Is he
burgers.
still with us, David Block?
I'm sure he is. I hope he is. And then his mother made the tuna burgers.
Wonder if he's
Called my
making-
mother, gave her the recipe. She used Miracle Whip for quite a while, and then Catherine didn't like Miracle Whip for some reason, so we used mayonnaise.
Right. Ma, do you have a dish from childhood that you remember? Or a holiday dish? Or a childhood dish? Oh, I know. Your mom used to make you tongue and rose petal
Well,
sandwiches.
No, honey.
Oh, my
no,
God.
that is how a story gets. That
Nope,
was
sorry, I
Gregory.
was wrong.
That was Gregory. I can't remember his last name. He was Armenian. And it was white Wonder Bread with mayonnaise with rose petal sandwiches. I couldn't get over it. It was so beautiful to look at.
Wow.
But that was not my mom's.
Oh, what
thing.
did you get sent to school with?
I have absolutely no memory of what I got sent to school with. That's interesting. None.
Tongue wasn't a part of it?
Tongue. My mom served tongue at home, but I couldn't
I didn't
bear
have to
that
eat it when
idea.
they served it because
No.
the little bumps
Yeah.
on the tongue.
Yeah.
Me.
No,
That was kind of a big thing in Jewish
It,
homes.
it was a big thing in Jewish
Pickled
homes,
tongue.
and brisket and tongue. And my mom made great rice pudding, and she made great cheesecake, and I still have her little recipe box.
Oh, we should make a cheesecake. I've never had
My
that.
mom
Yeah.
always made Philadelphia cream cheese hors d'oeuvres. White silver cup bread cut into circles. You make the stuff with the egg and the Philadelphia cream cheese and the paprika. I'm not sure what else. And then you spread it. You toast the bread, spread it on, broil it. I'm in heaven.
Why don't you ever make those?
I'm trying not to have too much dairy.
Because you're trying to look
And they're pretty fat.
Because you're trying to look hot and sexy?
Yeah, I want to be attractive to your mother.
You've always been attractive.
Let's talk about that.
Even when I wasn't. Anyway, look at these answering Sue's question.
What is the most attractive? How do you find it attractive? Is it my eyebrows?
I found your curiosity and your never giving upness and your eyebrows, which I saved.
You saved his eyebrows?
Yes, because when he was in this one play, Paradise Found, he was playing a eunuch, and so he was going to shave his eyebrows, and I said, you can't do that.
No, Prince asked me to shave them.
Yes, and I said, no, you will not.
So you saved his eyebrows from being Chauvin. He didn't shave them off, and then you
Chauvin,
didn't.
I don't think is
You
a
didn't
word.
keep
but
them
Yeah,
in
it
like
is.
a
You knew
little
what it meant, didn't
Tupperware.
you?
Yes, I did.
So it's a word.
Yeah.
This show is sponsored by Ridwell. If you're hunting for a holiday gift that isn't just some stuff that you're going to throw away, if you do throw it away with Ridwell. The Ridwell mail-in kit is a genuinely unique gift. It helps someone waste less, and it makes a true, real impact on our environment, on our world, on the lives of animals and human beings. Recycle all kinds of things that your curbside bin won't take. Plastic bags, bubble wrap, snack wrappers, coffee bags. I say plastic with a vengeance because I've been hearing all these things about microplastic, how it gets in the food, it gets in our bodies and animal bodies. It literally endangers our lives.
I don't know if anybody has ever said bubble wrap so intensely.
Yeah. And I've been telling Dad about this for years, like not drinking out of plastic bottles. But now that Ridwell,
They also pick it right up. They'll pick it up at your doorstep too.
yeah, you know, you're so aware of our excess. In November and December, people throw away 25% more stuff. So it is the most important time of year to start wasting less. Between all the extra plastic shipping materials from online shopping and all the food packaging from entertaining and baking, Ridwell helps you keep your waste low. Using Ridwell makes you feel good, so it's selfish in a way. It doesn't just say they recycle more, they actually do it. And right now, through December 22nd, they're running a holiday special. So if you buy 2 kits, you get a third one free.
You know what, honey? I want us to talk about Ridwell more often because I've never seen you so excited about a product or anything for that matter.
You know, I just
Because
realized the name.
It makes you happier.
Ridwell. That's very clever.
Yes.
You know. Anyway,
Did you
you
just
can give.
figure that out?
I did.
Yeah.
To give the gift of Ridwell, just head to ridwell.com/don't-listen-gift. It's super easy, really. You can get a digital link to share instantly, or if you know their address, have a kit mailed straight to your friends and family. And if you're not using Ridwell yet, treat yourself to one too. Maybe that free third one. So visit ridwell.com/don't-listen-gift. Let them know you heard about Ridwell from this podcast, and I'm really happy to share Ridwell with you.
We're going to move on to the next question.
Yes.
This is from Gemma in Australia, and it's a voice note, so we can put our headphones in there. This is a question several people have asked, and you probably have in your life too. It's definitely worth listen. Here is Gemma's note.
G'day Mandy, Catherine and Gideon. My name is Gemma, and if you can't already tell from the sound of my voice, I am in fact recording this from Australia. I stumbled across your podcast idea and I thought about how cool it would be to be a part of this new community that you guys are building. And to be able to do that from the other side of the world is actually pretty amazing. So, here I am, hello, and g'day from down under. A little about me. I play the trombone. I once lived in a van and travelled around Australia during COVID. And I've also had something like 14 different jobs over the years, including things like working in sales. I've been a radio host, a taxi driver, and even a school teacher, just to name a few. Now, I say all of this in the lead up to ask you but one question. Have any of you ever had that moment where you finally feel like an adult? I'm not having a midlife crisis, I promise. I'm only 29 years old.
Oh my God.
I've never had that moment, and I'm starting to wonder, what if I never truly, ever feel like an adult? How do you know when you've become who you're meant to be? Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my mini existential meaning of life crisis. I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Gemma.
Thank you, Joe. This is Gemma is gone.
Gemma's gone. That was just your note. Was there a moment where you felt when you were younger that you were an adult now? Like, was it when you're getting a first job or a driver's license or a first experience or a relationship? Or is that...
I don't know.
feel that way?
I think supporting yourself, not depending on parents, separating from your parents in some way about making decisions. I felt very adult when I fell in love with somebody my parents hated when I was like 22.
Because you still went ahead with it.
Because I went ahead and I loved this person and I knew they could not stand him.
Who was it?
Jeffrey.
Oh, yeah. Jeffrey.
And
He
I
threw
mean,
a chicken at you.
he did have some.
If you're out there,
That's the reason
don't
she
ever
picked
throw
her.
a chicken at my
Every
mom.
other guy she was
Yeah.
with threw a chicken at her.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who didn't.
I mean,
She
it's
said,
interesting.
"Very
Quality, that.
It is interesting. I think you keep redefining what being an adult means. And I don't think one adult is like another. I think it's an individual thumbprint, you know? Like fingerprints are all individual. So I hate the idea of somebody saying, you're not acting like an adult. If I'm laughing hysterically, why can't a person my age laugh hysterically?
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to me. We've gotten sort of this question from many, many
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, why are people so interested in this question? Why are we obsessed with this idea of that marker or this idea of progress or growing up? Like, it's interesting how many different people that came from.
I mean, does adult mean age, or does it adult mean accomplished in your work, or does adult mean finished with something, or I'm just having this image of the butterfly, you know, the caterpillar to the butterfly, and I don't know. It's an
I don't know.
interesting
It's
question,
I don't know. It's a
Gemma,
perfectly great answer.
I don't think I've ever had a thought in my head where I'm going to be an adult now, and that is going to be my goal. Was it when I married, when I became a parent, when I don't know. Just a human. I prefer to be a human and a non-defined human. Ageless, non-defined, non-categorizable human. What about you, honey?
I'm not an adult. Anyone who knows me can attest to that. I'm a child. I will be till the day I die. Any day that I might feel like an adult, I'll wait until that feeling passes, as my mother used to say. And I'll think that I may have died.
Was there a moment like Mom had dating somebody that her parents didn't like that she said fucking did it anyway? Was there a moment from your youth where you felt like, oh, this is a demarcation? I feel like a grown-up in a different way than I have before?
I just remember my mother saying things to Catherine like, well, I know there are no allergies in your family, but there's plenty in ours. In other words, basically what she would say to you were things like, the allergy thing, there were things like, wait till you get to know Mandy, then you won't probably stay, right?
No, she said, honey, when you
That's how I
said we were
felt.
getting married, she said, oh, I thought you'd lose her. And when we said we were
there you go.
pregnant,
That's perfect. I
and
thought
when we said,
you thought I'd lose her.
Yeah.
She thought I'd lose
Yeah,
her.
that's-
Meaning I'm not good enough for her.
don't you like me?
Thank you, Mom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. Love her. I do love her.
And
Gave me a lot.
how do you feel about that definition and what?
Well, I thought it was, I got a bar mitzvah. I didn't feel like an adult at 13 years old. I had
supposed to be
had sex when I was 16. I didn't feel like an adult then. I think the big thing that felt like freedom, a new thing, was being able to drive a car.
Yeah.
Driving a car by yourself was like, I can bring this body anywhere now. And that was a magical feeling.
Do you remember that moment when you were about to go drive across the country and it was 3 a.m. and you put your arms around me and Dad and you said, okay, listen guys, just remember, shit happens. And if anything happens to me, just remember I've had the best 18 years anybody could have. And then you drove up Amsterdam in the wrong lane and Dad and I were just sobbing.
We'll never see him again.
Yeah. You
Well,
don't remember that.
I'll say this. A portion of that story is true.
That is entirely true story.
It wasn't 3 a.m. It was the morning. I remember I turned left on Amsterdam. But you know what? I don't want to take that away from you.
Okay, thank you.
And imagination is a wonderful thing.
Okay. Gemma, just enjoy yourself. You're having a wonderful life.
Yeah, let us know if you ever if you ever
love
get to a point where
Australia.
you feel like you're an adult. Be
Yeah.
curious when that happens for you. Okay, so you guys can put your headphones here. and we are going back into our Call a Friend segment. And we've got a friend on the line here to help us dive into this next fun question. And you can say hello to our friend. See if you guys can figure out who it is. Hello, friend.
Hello, friend.
Hello, hello.
Oh my God, Sarah!
Oh, that didn't take long. It's Sarah Levy.
You guessed right.
Oh my God. Well, we had to do a podcast to hear each other's voices.
We've got on the line our dear friend Sarah Levy. I grew up thinking that me and Sarah were cousins and found out that we weren't at the age of 12 and was just shocked. And we were very close friends with her family and her mom and dad and her sister. And Sarah is an amazing actress, performer, writer, educator, mom, human being, and
has one of the great laughs on the earth, which I still want a recording of.
Well, you'll
we're
have
recording
it.
this right now. So
I've heard her laugh like 5 times already.
Yeah.
Keep her laughing.
How you doing, Sarah?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be talking to all of you.
Who are you happiest the most to be talking to?
I'm not going to fall for that.
Gideon's the safe answer. Gideon's the safe answer.
Well, just for a little more background, Mom, you met Sarah's mom,
Yeah, who was known as Kretzer.
Kretz.
Carol.
In Hebrew school.
Yes, I was utterly miserable. I was 12 or 13, and I had to go to this thing every...
Oh my God, Becky.
All right, I'll let her out. Relax. Sorry, listeners.
Sarah, sorry, listeners.
Get a dog.
God, we all jumped 3 feet
Wait,
into
we're gonna
give
finish.
anyone a heart attack out there.
We're
Becky's
with you.
responsible. So,
So
Mom,
I
you were
met-
saying you met Kretz
No,
real
Kretz
quick
saved
in
my life.
Hebrew school.
I was utterly distraught. I've never been a suicidal person, but when I think about it, that was as depressed as I've ever gotten.
Oh, no.
And Sarah's mother, Carol Kretzer Levy, saved my teenage life. She was...
I've gotten you pretty depressed at times.
Yes, honey, but I'm
Give me
talking
a
about, I
little
didn't know you were.
She saved your life?
She saved my life. She just was so damn funny. And she had such a perspective, and she helped me just sort of pass the class, and she became a lifelong friend.
And Sarah, your dad was an amazing rabbi
Yes.
that we all loved.
Yeah, he was
well.
executive director of the Los Angeles Hillels, which is the Jewish college organization.
Rabbi
And then
Richard Levy.
He was the director of the rabbinical school at Hebrew Union College in Los Angeles, which is a Reform rabbinical school.
He was always our go-to person every time we had a question.
Same.
So we've got a question here from Adam. Adam wrote in, Dear Mandy, Catherine, and Gideon, and Sarah, I'm sure he would have said if he knew you were here with us. Hanukkah is coming up, and I've noticed that in my family, we have celebrated it less and less over the years as the kids have grown up. We used to play the dreidel game and sing the songs and really do 8 nights of presents. And now we get the menorah going at the beginning and then kind of get to lighting the candles through the week if we remember and just do presents on a night or two. I'm wondering how your Hanukkah or other Jewish holiday celebrations have changed or stayed the same since you were kids. And how important is it to you to maintain those traditions as you get older and your kids get older? Thanks, from Adam. What do you guys think of Adam's question?
Not so good.
Oh, I think it's a great question.
Sarah thinks it's a great question.
What comes up for you, Sarah, right away?
Well, one thing I noticed about Adam's great question was that he was noticing things that he and his family do or do not do. And I'm interested in that. I noticed that we're not celebrating as much as we used to. And I'm interested in that, to what extent does Adam feel they has control over what the family does? So would you like that to change? Are you happy with how things are, or would you like them to be different?
Yeah. How is it in in your house with the holidays. Do you feel your Hanukkah has stayed similar to when you were a kid, or is it where?
No, it's completely different, partly because everyone who was in charge of it is dead now.
Yeah.
So that's
Right.
just something we all have to deal with. That in my family, the siblings, my grandmother and her brother and her stepsister, they would take turns with hosting all the major holidays.
Yeah.
And so Hanukkah was at my grandmother's house, and it would be the entire massive family and various, partners, temporary and long-lasting. And it was huge. We would have big boxes of presents and the brisket and the singing and the candles and the whole thing. But, my sister and I, we moved away, and the whole family kind of scattered, and there's not that central home aspect anymore that there used to be. So
What I've picked up from this part of the discussion is that if you're going to choose to be in charge of the holiday celebrations, think twice, because you're going to be dead.
Don't start something you can't finish.
That's right.
So what I realized, one of my problems is I loved Hanukkah when the kids were little. I loved lighting the candles every day. We had little presents in my family. We got little tiny things, and then on the last night of Hanukkah, a big thing.
And we try to do it for the grandkids.
And we try to do it, but it makes me very nostalgic.
Yes.
For when we had a lot of people over. Now it's just sort of immediate family. Do you find any chosen kin people that you can sort of recreate what you loved about those bigger events that you've done, or does it stay pretty small?
We have done some Hanukkah parties at our house, not with presents. I find the presents thing complicated and tricky. So not that, but we have created a new latke recipe that is now, the next generation's latke recipe. But
can you say what the nature of it is?
Oh,
yeah.
I
What's
can.
the new innovation
now
there?
Not secret ingredients are some scallions and some sweet potato.
Oh, nice.
It's really good. Now does
So
my
it's a
son,
sweet potato latke?
Well, just a hint of sweet potato. It's
Yeah.
like 5 regular potatoes to 1 sweet potato. And then other
Mandy is
secret
diligently writing this down.
And then what are the other things you put in it?
I mean, scallions are part of it. And then, I don't know, my husband has been the one who's been he's taken that over, the latke making.
Wow.
So that's new too.
I need to have a conversation with him, because I couldn't make them stay together in the pan. I did something wrong.
Sarah, I don't know if you saw that video I made of them making the latkes, but I walked into the house and they were both just haggard, messy hair, sweating buckets, just full of anger, rage, and confusion.
Full of latke.
Full of latke, just trying to make these.
Yeah, and also because it was something you could count on over the years, and suddenly we couldn't recreate it.
Right.
Yes.
Why do you think Andy Kaufman's character in Taxi was named Latke?
Oh, good question.
It's funny to name a character after a potato pancake.
So do you look forward to the holiday, Sarah, or does it make you sad for what the differences are, or both?
It's both. I mean, some of it is, knowing and mourning the fact that I can't recreate it. I can't give my own child the same thing that we had because people are not here and we live in a different place. And so it definitely reminds me of that kind of loss, but also that's how it is. And I guess for me, one of the things I think about is, well, okay, if I tune out other people's voices and other noise of what am I supposed to do, what would so and so want me to do, and then it can kind of become, okay, but what's important to me, what do I want? So trying for that.
Yeah. Mike, do you guys have any specific Hanukkah memories from childhood? Mom, Dad?
Yeah, I got baseball cards often on the nights, or a set of jacks. You know, little presents. I get one big present, which is usually something for my Lionel train set, like a car or an accessory. But most of the nights were little presents, which I really love. Baseball cards. I love the bubble gum in them. I love the jacks, marbles. Got special marbles, paddle balls. We got paddle balls from Wee Folks Toy Store, and those are the things I remember.
Did you do a lot of singing of songs? Or?
Yeah, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. When it's dry and ready, a dreidel I will play. Hey, oh Hanukkah, come like. You know,
see, these are all good for
everything
the
they
podcast.
sang in Diary of Anne Frank.
These are all good for the podcast. They're all public domain. If you're ever in the mood for a song that you don't need the rights to, just sing some Hanukkah songs.
I'm curious, Sarah, with Connor, what do you say to him on holidays or special occasions of the wisdom nature, or not wisdom even, things that you want him to really get into his soul, that you use the holiday to highlight, that you just, is there something that you constantly repeat that your mom and dad said, or?
I think there's something that that has remained a tradition, which is a constant family disagreement of how much to do versus how little to do. So my dad would always want to sing more songs and do more of this, and then the rest of the family was sort of like, enough already, let's eat. So, I think I've faced that with my own child of wanting to do the things, and sometimes his not so much wanting to. But the singing feels important. The lighting the candles feels really important, and talking about light and miracles and hope feels important.
Yeah.
What was your dad's favorite song of the ones he loved to keep pounding out?
Oh man, anyone that was really long. It would take a really long time. I think Mao's Sword was one that he...
Is that the one? Sorry.
Yeah.
What about but on Passover days?
Wait, how does that one go?
Chad Gad Yah. All the verses of Chad Gad Yah. Did your dad do all those verses?
Yes, we would do those verses, and we still do that with we do different sounds for the different animals, so everyone takes a part.
All right, because you do the English version.
Yeah, we do the English version.
Yeah.
I must say, Sarah, that I think light, any ceremony that brings light at this time is really important to do, whether it's Hanukkah or every Friday night. I heard, as I was listening to a podcast about the human being extinct, I heard the very same guy that wrote a book about that saying hope is an act of resistance. So that's what I've decided to take with me on this day.
One thing I love about the story of Hanukkah is that it's a minor holiday. It's not in the 5 books of Moses, and
I like
it
that.
came up later. So there is, to me, a kind of choose your own adventure of, okay, how do you want to celebrate it? You can.
And I love that you don't like I love that you don't like the present part, because that's the bullshit part that they added to compete with Christmas.
Yeah, it's
commercialism. It was commercialism. Period. A way to make money for. toy.
That's the bullshit part. That's the bullshit part they added to Christmas too.
Yeah.
The presents.
The presents. Yeah, that's right.
Well, I mean,
the next year after Jesus died, they didn't.
Wasn't presents.
Are you serious?
I don't know. I'm not a biblical scholar. That's just my guess.
I can't imagine that's true.
Oh,
But wait, there's this one question that I like, which is, can we, should we, how do we give our kids the same experiences we had? I think we feel sometimes like compelled to repeat what our parents did with us, or the good things of theirs, like to honor them, or because we had good memories.
Tradition.
Yeah, tradition. But then I think sometimes nowadays we go, oh, that's not really necessary, but we don't always make new traditions. I think it's one thing if you let go of the old stuff because you didn't find it that meaningful, but then you kind of got to find some new stuff, and that's, I think, a thing in our family,
Yeah.
as close as we are, that I'd really like to do better at.
Yeah.
Of just even whether it's connected to the past or your ancestors, or just like making new traditions and rituals. I think it's such a fun thing to do, especially for kids.
Yeah.
And we, so far, aren't great at it.
No, but it's great. I mean, it takes in my favorite word, which is connect, because if you do the old traditions, and it connects you to the old times, the old folks, etc. If you do the new ones, it's connecting you to the needy people in the world, the planet, the people suffering in places, and you know what should we wish for them? What should we send them? You
If
know,
that's part of your
as
new
far as
policy, yeah.
donations,
Yeah.
money, food,
Light.
life supporting
But I
systems.
think it's also a way you can share your experiences, Sarah, or I can share mine as a part of a storytelling thing. You know, just like you share stories of ancient ancestors and bring them back to your table with stories that are just wonderful to hear without the comparison to your own new rituals.
I would also
feeling lame in comparison.
I would also encourage all parents and grandparents to ask their children what they would like to do, what tradition they would like to create, or one of the old ones that they heard about from grandmas or grandpas or great-grandmas or great-grandpas, or what they heard about in school or the world or from a friend, and let them invent a new tradition. I think they'd feel very proud about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I lose you on that one, sir?
No, I was
Okay.
thinking. I was
That's okay.
thinking.
You can feel free.
Thinking is good.
Thinking is good.
Thinking is good.
That's something I never do.
Well, there's a disagreement that I love about Hanukkah, and we go with the second one. But there was a disagreement between Rabbi Hillel and Rabbi Shammai in days of yore. That's a technical term. And Shammai thought that we should start with lighting 8 candles the first night and then go less and less each night. And Hillel thought, no, we should start from none and go all the way to 8, and Hillel, as usual, won.
Why did he win?
Well, I mean, Shammai's was kind of depressing, I think. Of like, we're going to start at 8 and then we're going to, and then nothing, happy Hanukkah. Yeah. So Hillel's is more fun. But
absolutely.
What are the ways, I think for Hanukkah specifically, how do we want to increase joy, light, giving, hope? I really like thinking about those questions.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm writing them down so I don't forget to mention them when we're sitting with the young'uns.
Yeah.
And the old uns.
Sarah, will you let us know how your this upcoming Hanukkah goes for you, and what new things or old things you did, and how you were able to incorporate those things? And
oh man, it's going to be amazing.
Do the same.
But you know,
and here's
what were you
sorry.
gonna say?
Oh, I was going to say that newer ones, to me, newer songs of, this isn't so new, but Adam Sandler's The Hanukkah Song. And now David Diggs, I don't know if you've heard this one, but Puppy for Hanukkah.
Ooh, what is it? A puppy?
David
Diggs.
What is it? Did you say uppy?
Puppy.
Puppy for
like
Hanukkah.
a baby dog for Hanukkah.
Puppy for
And
Hanukkah.
these
Okay,
are
we're going
like,
to listen to that.
That one I didn't have when I was growing up. And now it's just, we love it.
And what is Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song called?
I think it's just called the Hanukkah song.
The Hanukkah song.
Okay, good.
I cry when I hear it.
Oh yeah, it's still golden. It's a good 30 years old.
Yeah,
Still solid.
Well, it's going to be new to me, so thank you for introducing
you're
it
gonna
to me.
love it.
And Sarah, here's a really radical idea that we can start seeing if we can arrange now.
Yeah.
Can I come to your house for one night of Hanukkah?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
And will you come to ours?
And will you come to ours, wherever that may be?
Yes, please. Any 24/7 joy, hope, and miracles.
Okay, that's
If
really
possible, could I get there with Catherine before your sweetheart makes the latkes so that I could have a hands-on lesson?
Yes, you can.
That would be helpful.
And then when you guys come over here, we'll teach you the stressed out, cursing, angry, sweating, miserable
just so you
recipe.
have really a lot of choices.
New traditions for everyone.
Let us find out on the calendar when that is, so we can start working on it. Maybe make it happen.
Yes, I love that.
Okay, love.
About something else?
Yes.
Anything.
Thank you, Sarah, and the check's in the mail.
Okay. Love you all. Bye, Sarah.
Bye. Good girl, Becky. Becky has joined us once again. She was outside looking for a squirrel. She's back. She has received a liver treat, which I tried the last
He
episode.
really did try to eat that. That was the most frightening thing.
And you almost didn't make it to this episode.
It was not one of my better decisions.
You know, I've read that. I read that dogs don't have much.
Yeah, don't make that. The dog has now been looking for more affection, and she is annoyed.
Dogs don't have any taste buds. All their sensory stuff is olfactory in their noses. They have like 200 extra sensory things in their noses than we do, but not much on the tongue.
She comes up to you and asks for a little love, and you go, did you want to see what you did? You go,
she didn't
scowling.
See me, honey. Her eyes are down there.
She feels everything.
Well, my face said one thing and my hand
Dad,
did something.
Don't you think Mom has been generous in her co-ownership of the dog?
Since I have no
That's why I brought it up. I wanted to thank her for all the generosity and
That's
love
what I thought you meant.
she's given the family and especially Becky.
Yes.
I can't put it in.
This is a good shirt. That's why I don't want her snuffling all over it.
Well, don't wear a good shirt.
Well, I didn't know Becky would.
All right, guys. I think that's all the time we have this week. Thank you to Sarah for calling in. Thank you, Becky, for
barking.
Gemma.
We want to hear from you. You
Adam.
can send us your latke recipes, or holiday recipes, or spicy Jello molds, what have new traditions, old traditions.
Remind me to tell the story of Cousin Gilly and the green Jello.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
We will have that story
That's a
next
good one.
time, I'm sure.
We're tuning in for.
Yes. And we want to hear anything and everything from you. You can send us an email at askmandyandcatherine@gmail.com or check out our socials for an easy way to send us a voice note. Thanks so much for tuning in, and please remember, don't do it.
Don't.
Bye.
Hey, we couldn't say goodbye. We wanted you to know one more thing.
It is.
I can't remember. It was such a special thing. It was the kind of thing that really changes the course of one's day and kind of turns your whole life around in such a positive way.
Oh yeah, you were going to share that.
Oh my
Oh, it's
Lord,
so
I wish I could
powerful.
remember.
It's so moving.
It is so good. That's one of my favorites too.
Oh, I remember.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, but we don't have time.
Honey, if you hadn't just said that, I might have not
sorry.
lost.
Okay.
I just lost it again.
Don't Listen to Us is a Lemonada Media original. Hosted by Mandy Patinkin, Catherine Grody, and Gideon Grody Patinkin. Created by Katrina Onstad, Debbie Pacheco, and Gideon Grody Patinkin. Executive producers are Catherine Grody, Gideon Grody Patinkin, Mandy Patinkin, Katrina Onstad, Debbie Pacheco, Jessica Cordova Kramer, and Stephanie Whittles Wax. Our engineer is Ryan Derringer of Welterweight Sound. Video and audio production by Mark Whiteway of Bellows Media. If you haven't subscribed to Lemonada Media Premium yet, now's the perfect time. You can hear Don't Listen to Us completely ad-free. Plus, you'll unlock exclusive bonus content like behind-the-scenes conversations, questions so weird they didn't make it on air, Becky the Dog shenanigans, and more. Just tap the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts, head to lemonadapremium.com to subscribe on any other app, or listen ad-free on Amazon Music with your Prime membership. That's lemonadapremium.com. Don't miss out.
Put that silly stuff away, and let me tell you what. This summer you need to get a job at the factory. Do a good job, come back and finish your senior year. When you graduate, you should be able to get a full-time job. And what else can I help you? Uber Eats knows when your team is hungry for a win. You get hungry for pizza. And now you can get a free Domino's pizza deal on Uber Eats. But it's just coincidence. football makes you hungry. Get to your closest salon on Uber Eats. Order now.
Warner Liberty's Catering has a lot on their plate, but with Intuit QuickBooks, AI agents take stuff off it. Hours off, chef. And payroll's ready too. That's your secret sauce. So we'll outdo it with Intuit QuickBooks. Pay for whatever the day brings with up to $500 in 5 months. Download Dave.
If you've been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or medical malpractice, we will get you paid. You deserve it. LegalJustice.com. Contact the law office of Pulaski and Masrudi for your free case evaluation. We don't just talk, we deliver. One call, that's all. Legal Justice for all. LegalJustice.com. That's LegalJustice.com.